Hello, this is Brian Higney, instructor of game design here at High Point University. We made our little monstery guy. Zombie is a zombie. Now it's time to add color. No, we didn't make the guy. We made the first shape. And now it's time to think about color. Okay? Let's go ahead and add color. So what I'm going to do is open up a new window over here to the right, and it's called Fill and Stroke. Fill and Stroke. It already has a stroke value, and its stroke value is black, and I hate strokes, so I'm going to click X. And now when you click X, obviously it disappears. So maybe it's good to have a stroke when you first start it. So let's go ahead and add fill before I do stroke. Sometimes I lose my objects when they don't have fill or stroke. I don't want that to happen now. It defaults to having no fill, so let's go ahead and put a flat color on there. Now, of course, it defaults to whatever color I used last. I'm going to move this, and with the fill window enabled, I'm going to click the Pick Colors from Image tab, and I'm going to click this anywhere in this green, and it's going to add that same green, or it should. Let's try again. Are there any other different? That's really that green? Wow, that's quite interesting. There we go. Let's just go ahead and use it. Okay, there's that. Now that I have a color here, I can click on Stroke Paint and click X and place this there. Yeah, that actually looks right. Or that looks normal. That's one way to do it. Now, here's another question. What if I was curious, I thought maybe he had a slight color curve here by accident, and I guess he doesn't. But what if you want to have a shaded area or a gradient color? You can click on linear gradient. Oh, that's for stroke. Sorry. Yeah, stroke can have a gradient and fill can have a gradient. So I'm going to click on a linear gradient. By default, you might be confused. By default, it gradiates between the color you have and opacity. So let's go ahead and double click the shape that you added the gradient fill to. And when you double click it, that's when you enter into the node editing mode. And so here, you should see a line going from the middle. I think sometimes it starts vertically. In this case, it's horizontal. One of these is going to be the start gradient, and the other side, in this case it's a circle, is going to be the end gradient. And so right now, the begin gradient has an opacity of 100%. And you'll notice the end one has an opacity of 0%. So it's really just a matter of adding opacity back, and it's still the same color because we didn't change the color at all. And so what we can do is, with this end node selected for the gradient, we can just change the color, maybe change it to lighter. And the other thing we can do is drag these ends closer together, and doing that changes where or how that color transitions from one to the other. Okay? So this may help you, this may not help you. I don't know if you like that, if you want to have just a subtle gradation. Now the other thing you can do is copy and paste, right? And so I copied and pasted this. Let's go ahead and give ourselves a stroke value of black, just so I can see my strokes. And what we might want to do here is, let's go ahead and what could I do? So I'm kind of thinking, I am going to draw another shape, use the selection tool, and click this shape again. And notice when you toggle through left-clicking a shape or object, when you click it, it toggles between rotation and movement. So I'm going to rotate this like such. Okay. And so now I have, you'll see why I'm doing this. I'm going to kind of show you a Boolean subtraction method, or a Boolean cut, because I want to actually cut this with this box so that I can add actually a second shape that might also act as a shaded part of the face. So let's go ahead and do that. If I want to cut this face just down the middle here, I can use this shape here. I'm going to select the shape I want to keep first. Go under Object, it might be Path. Go under Path and do a difference operation. I might need to, every software is different. I think I need to actually click both of them, but I'm not sure. Let me do difference and then click that. Okay, so what I need to do is first click my object, now shift click the second object, and now when I do object, object, where did you go to? Oh, path difference. It just cut this shape using that second shape I created. Okay, if you want to see that again, I'm going to do Control Z. So I'm going to select the shape I want to keep, Shift select the shape I want to use to cut, then go to Path Difference. There. Now, why did I do that? I'm going to show you. Number one, I'm going to select this head, make sure it doesn't have a stroke, and make sure its fill is a flat color. And I'm going to use the original color. Oh, that is the original color. Is it? I'm going to use my... There. Okay, that's good. And for this one, I'm going to snap it. There we go. Get rid of its stroke. And for fill, I'm going to give it a darker. And now I'm going to go and kind of use the Edit Paths tool and just kind of make this curved. There. And so now we have, like, you can play with this kind of shadow, but this is a, a fake shadow that I just created, that if we keep a consistent type of shading, your characters are going to look fine. So I don't see any shading over these guys. There's really no... Well, there's a little shading here for the nose, but that's a specific shape. I am just going to keep this the way it is. I just wanted to show you that version, or to show you how to do that. The next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and make this brain. Now this might be an easy circle, and I'm just going to go like this. It's actually not that easy. Interesting. I'm going to delete that. I'm going to draw that myself. So I'm going to start here. If I want to keep this a straight line, I'm going to hold down the Control button, and the Control button will snap to specific angles, obviously 0 and 90 degrees. I'm going to click there, and I'm going to click, let's click here, and then I'm going to go ahead and just fill it in here. And I'm going to do that. There we go. And what I'm going to do is then give it no stroke and give it a fill, but also use... Oh no, I filled the... I moved there. Move it so that I can actually grab that color. There we go. And now for the last thing I want to talk about in this particular video is, now, hey, how come his brain is above his head? And that's because every time you draw a new object, whatever it is, it's going to be placed on top of whatever you're drawing. Now, if you recall, we should still be in the zombie head layer. So one thing to note, all of the objects that are in this zombie head layer, I kind of wish we could see them in Inkscape, but we can't, are sitting on top of each other. None of them are on the same plane, or on the same the layer. So because I drew the zombie brain last, it's on top of the head, and I want to get this below the head. I'm going to unlock the base and just show you that I can actually... Can I do it like this? I can't remember. No. If I select the base and click this button, raise the current layer, you can see that now the base is in front of everybody, right? And I can just select this base and click down and do that. The way we do it for objects within a layer, because that was just moving the layers, is by right-clicking and saying, where are you? Order. Okay, it's not here. By going to Object, and I could do it here, Lower. And there, I just lowered the brain below the head. I feel like it should be in right-clicking. I'm surprised it's not here. Object, and there should be Order. Okay, well, just raise and lower. Well, that's easier than I thought. Okay, so there we go. When we move on, I may go ahead and do the eyes and all the other stuff on my own without you guys, because you don't need to see me doing that. And then I'll get back to kind of how we deal with this from there. Okay, have fun. Bye.